Hello everybody, good evening and a very warm welcome to 5-day hand mudra workshop. Namaste, good evening. कैसे हैं आप सब? Quickly type it in the chat box. How excited are you for the mudra workshop? Namaste, namaste. कितने लोगों को पता है what is mudra? मुद्रा क्या होता है? कितने लोगों को पता है? Hope you did your yoga today. आज सबने अपना अपना योगा किया होगा शायद. Yes? Very excited, amazing. Even we are very excited to organize this workshop. How many of us have done mudras with us before? कितने लोगों ने पहले मुद्रा किया है? जल्दी से चैट बॉक्स में बताएं. हमारे साथ हैबिल्ड का मुद्रा वर्कशॉप किया है. एंड हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस आर डूइंग इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम? कितने लोग पहली बार कर रहे हैं? टाइप 1 इन द चैट बॉक्स अगर आप फर्स्ट टाइम हमारे साथ कर रहे हैं. Very excited. It is a wonderful workshop that we do and I'm excited to join. Amazing. Quick audio video check. आपको मेरी आवाज क्लियर है? My God, so many of us are doing for the first time. And if you've done before, type 2 or 3 जितने बार आपने पहले किया है. You know, okay, amazing. Very nice. You did last time also. Nice. So इस बार अगर आपने लास्ट टाइम भी किया है, इस बार that is an advanced version of mudras that we are doing. इस बार we'll also focus on chakras. So we will do some mudras which are similar from last time. जो हमने last time सिखाया वो तो हम सिखाएंगे, but उसके साथ साथ हम आपको कुछ नई चीजें भी इस बार सिखाएंगे. Very excited to do this. Audio clear, video absent. Backend team just quick check if video and audio is good. YouTube पे सब नॉर्मल आ रहा है, एक बार प्लीज चेक कीजिए. ऑसम. अगर किसी का ऑडियो वीडियो में प्रॉब्लम है, क्विकली लॉग आउट एंड लॉग इन, फिर से ज्वाइन इन कर लीजिए सेशन के लिए. एंड इफ यू नो सम फ्रेंड्स हु आर विथ हैबिल्ड एंड दे डू नॉट नो अबाउट द मुद्रा वर्कशॉप, टेल देम टू ज्वाइन. उनको भी बोलिए ज्वाइन करने को. ऑल्सो आज हम जो भी मुद्रा सीखेंगे, आई वॉन्ट कि आप लोग सब मुद्रास जब प्रैक्टिस करें तो उनके फोटोज हमारे फेसबुक कम्युनिटी में जरूर से डालना. तो इफ यू आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ आवर फेसबुक कम्युनिटी, हमारे फेसबुक कम्युनिटी में जुड़कर वहां जरूर से आप अपने मुद्रा प्रैक्टिस के फोटोज या वीडियोज जो भी आप डालना चाहे आप डाल सकते हैं. सो नाउ आई विल हैंड इट ओवर टू आवर मुद्रा एक्सपर्ट डॉक्टर प्रेमलता. So Dr. Premlata is a certified hand mudra therapist. तो वो सर्टिफाइड है हैंड मुद्रा सिखाने के लिए और उन्होंने बहुत रिसर्च किया है ना. हैंड मुद्रास के बारे में उन्होंने बहुत रिसर्च करके बड़े सारे वो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस भी करवाती है और वो वीडियो कंसल्टेशन भी देती है. अगर किसी को कोई दिक्कत है तो उसके लिए शी गिव्स वीडियो कंसल्टेशंस also. Apart from that, she's also written a book on hand mudra. She's written a book and it is published. And apart from that, for Habuild itself, हमारी community के लिए she has done multiple hand mudra workshops and this is probably the 6th or the 7th. I will check today and get back to you tomorrow. कल मैं आपको बताऊंगी कि हमने कितने बार hand mudra workshop करवाया है उनके साथ. But let's all welcome Dr. Prem. 1 second. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, you'll have to unmute yourself. I think quick tech check. Hello, ma'am.
I can't hear you, Yamini. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Very warm welcome to ma'am. I think we will hand it over directly to ma'am. Hand it over to you.
Apart from that, she's also written a book on Mudras. She's written a book that is published.
Ma'am, you can use the YouTube video.
community के लिए she has done multiple hand mudra workshops, and this is probably the sixth.
Ma'am, you can start.
Okay. Okay. Good evening and namaste to everyone. I understand many of you are attending it for the first time. So, anyway, the lectures will not be as a continuation. The talk will be as if I'm talking to absolutely people who have no idea of hand mudras or are attending for the first time. Yeah. So, this is a session on hand mudras. It is basically an awareness. This is my guru, and I offer my pranamams to him. So, this mudra session, what we're going to do is here today, we'll first have to learn a little, the basics. We'll have to understand what mudras are, what are the benefits, how our fingers are connected to the mudras, how our brain is connected to the mudras, and earlier we had focused on panchatattwas. This time we are focusing on chakras. So today we will start off with Mooladhara chakra. Now I'd like to take off the screen for a while. So we'll first try to understand what are mudras. The word mudra comes from two words. The root word is mudita. Mudita means happiness. So, and the other word is dravya. Dravya means to draw forth. So, mudras actually means joy or happiness, and dravya means to draw forth, means that which gives us happiness. So Bhagwan Shiv, when he was explaining this to Mata Parvati, this is what he said, that mudras reflect divine qualities and it brings joy not just to the person who is holding the mudras, but even to those who watch him or are around him. So mudras become a way of life. Mudras also mean a seal or a lock. We have heard of this word mudra. If you go to legal department, they call it a seal. But seal means it's a lock. How we can use mudras to lock the energy, we shall see a little later. Now, mudras have been classified into several categories like Kaya mudras, what we are doing every day, Shira mudras, Bandha mudras, even in Bandha mudra, like Moola Bandha, when we do, what are we doing? We are locking the energy. Then we have Adhara mudras and Hasta mudras. The focus of this session is Hasta mudras. But within Hasta mudras also, we have Natya mudras, Chikitsa mudras, we have Puja mudras, Tantra mudras. Our focus is Chikitsa mudras. It is believed that there are more than 101 Chikitsa mudras. It is not necessary for everyone to know all the mudras. And we'll try to cover as much as possible in these 5 days based on the chakras. Now, what are hand mudras? The biggest miracle is the human body, which I always find amazing. And no scientists have been able to replicate this despite cloning and whatever. Similarly, the human hand, it's an aujar, it's an instrument, a tool created by nature. Perfect instrument. In the course of the day, हम लोग अपने इन हाथों से so many activities we do, and all of it is controlled by the brain. Our fingers, the muscles over here have tiny motor neural endings, which is responsible for all our hand movements and actions. हमारे एक्शंस इतने प्रिसाइज होते हैं, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड भी होते हैं, बट यू विल फाइंड दे आर कंट्रोल्ड, and we can make so many different shapes and forms with these fingers, 5 fingers of ours. These shapes are what are known as mudras. Now, mudras work at the physical, mental, emotional, and the spiritual level. And so one can experience healing at all these levels. In fact, one mudra can give you multiple benefits. Our fingers are constantly emitting currents, electric current or waves. हम लोग जब when we want to scold someone, we use this finger. And it communicates to the other person that there is a warning or a threat or a scold. Now, how much of negative energy this finger emits has been explained by Sant Tulsidas. He says the ashcote plant जो होता है, जिसे हम बंगाल में चालकुमड़ा बोलते हैं, and ashcote is, I think, now a common name which people know about. So if you point your finger, Sant Tulsidas explains in Ramcharitmanas, if you point your finger at the flower of that plant, fruit तो कभी होगा ही नहीं उसमें, and even the flower will wilt away. So you can understand that we are constantly emitting electric current or waves through our fingers. Now, if we can emit negative energy, why not positive? And yes, there are certain mudras that give us instant relief, like the Shunya Mudra for any ear problems, instant relief. We have Apana Mudra for urinary infection. We have Apana Vayu, which is very good for heart problems. So modern scientific research has established that placing your hands and fingers in different position affects the brain and lungs. In a while, I'll just show you the connection between mudras and the brain. Now, energy enters through the Brahmarandri and is emitted through our fingers and through the surface. Normal naked eye से हम नहीं देख पाते हैं, लेकिन Kirlian cameras can capture this. Now, energy has no form, so we cannot see it with the naked eye. The vital energy जो subtle है, सूक्ष्म है, उसे प्राण कहते हैं, प्राण शक्ति, life force energy. The human body is constantly receiving and constantly transmitting this energy. And we can lock this energy wherever we want. That is what we call seal. Yato mana tato prana. We can direct it wherever we want in the body. We can lock it wherever we want. If we close our eyes and sit down, we can feel the subtle energy, which we cannot because our mind is constantly occupied. Now, mudra is one of the healing therapies. Like we have yoga asanas, we have meditation, pranayama, sparsha chikitsa. Similarly, mudra is also an alternative therapy. Although now I think many people are moving towards alternative medicine, maybe it will become a mainstream. Mudras are non-invasive, no side effects. And they require no instrument, no time constraint. You can do it anytime, anywhere. And it doesn't require for you to have any gadget. It doesn't require that you should be either sitting or standing or lying down in any form. The basic guidelines I'll keep giving as we talk, but mostly I'll talk about it in detail tomorrow. Mudras can also be performed when one is unwell, which is not possible with many other modes of treatment. Even if you are unwell, you can lie down and hold the mudras. That's a very, very big advantage of mudras. Now, I'll just show you mudras at the brain. Slide, please. Yeah. So you see this slide here. These are the two hemispheres of the brain. And you can see, I mean, we need not try to by heart or understand, just a pictorial representation to convince us that different portions of the brain are connected to different parts of the body. This is just to give you an idea. Hence, we have so many mudras because different fingers are connected to different parts of the brain, and those that particular part in turn is connected to different organs, and that is how the activation of these organs takes place. We know that body is merely an instrument, सिर्फ एक यंत्र है which receives instructions from the mind. Body by itself can do nothing. Mind से instructions आता है, body act करता है. Now, the communication between the body and the mind goes through the central nervous system. We can remove the slide now. Goes through the central nervous system, which is composed of the spinal cord and the brain. Mudra का क्या role है इसमें? The role of mudras is to stimulate the body, mind, and brain through the manipulation of pranic flow. With the help of these mudras, as I just explained, different fingers are connected to different parts of the brain, and different parts of the brain are connected to different organs. So, when we hold a particular mudra, a different part of your body receives the energy. So, that is the role of mudras, to stimulate the body, mind, and brain through it manipulates the pranic flow. So, in fact, when any mudra is performed, neural impulses सबसे पहले brain में generate होता है. And ये impulses they travel back and forth through the same channel और एक loop बन जाता है, एक circuit, because it's traveling in the same circuit constantly. What happens is gradually, because it's going in the same circuit, energetic charge builds up and we are not using the complete brain. So unused portion of the brain gets activated. Whatever be the kind of brain stimulation, whenever any mudra is formed or performed, there is intense activity of certain brain areas. As you keep engaging in a particular mudra for a long time, larger areas of brains that are dormant become activated. और बहुत स्मूथ हार्मोनियस कंट्रोल्ड मैनर में धीरे 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 ब्रेन के डिफरेंट पोर्शंस एक्टिव हो जाते हैं. इससे पॉजिटिव चेंजेस आप एक्सपीरियंस करेंगे, बट इट वोंट हैपन ओवरनाइट बिकॉज पहले पर्जिंग होगा. यू विल फर्स्ट अंदर में all human beings, most people have a lot of fears, phobias, negative emotions, distorted thought patterns, बहुत कुछ stored है. So once positive charge starts getting built up, these will first come out. Purging होगा पहले. After that, gradually transformation happens. But it happens. And it is because the positive charge is being built up that negative energy is being released. The negative charge is replaced with creative and positive habits. Gradually, you will find your thinking pattern has changed, your behavior has changed, and you'll overall feel a sense of, calmness. So, image, we have already seen how brain and mudras are connected. Now, it is very important for us to understand what our 5 fingers stand for. According to Garbha Upanishad and several other scriptures, the human body is comprised of the same 5 Panchabhutas, Panchamahabhutas, or the 5 elements that the universe is made of. Whether it's plants, animals, or any other species, or the nature that you see, and the human body. All are comprised of these 5 elements. What are they? Agni, fire, Vayu, wind, Akasha Tattva or ether. Then we have Prithvi Tattva, earth element, and Jala Tattva or water element. These 5. Now, it may be in different proportion in different species. In the human body, it is in this proportion. Water, we all know the human body is comprised of 72% of water. Earth element is 12%. Akasha Tattva or space is 6%. We have Vayu 6% and Agni is 4%. If this gets distorted, if there is an imbalance, that is when we experience diseases and difficulties. Now, Agni is only 4%, but it is called the Adhipati of the Bhutas, the Lord. Kyun? Because to hold any mudra, we need the use of a thumb. Thumb represents Agni Tattva. So first you have to be sure of the representation of the 5 fingers. Then it will be very easy for you to remember the mudras. And over a period of time, one can even make your own mudras according to your need. But that requires a lot of practice and understanding the scientific background. So for now, let us first learn this. The thumb, Adhipati, if you remember, is Agni. Always, when we are in agreement with something, we always use this. Easy to remember, Agni Tattva. Our index finger represents Vayu. Easy to remember, connect it with Vayu creates aggression in the body, agitation, and that is why we always use this finger when we are annoyed, angry. And this is Vayu Tattva. Then we have Akasha Tattva, middle finger. Prithvi Tattva is the ring finger, and the little finger is Jala Tattva. This also is very easy to remember. So I repeat, Agni, Vayu, Akasha, Prithvi, and Jala Tattva. It's given here, of course, but you must become very thorough with this. This is the basis of being able to do the mudras. Now, through the use of these mudras, these fingers, we can, as I said, when there is an imbalance of any of the tattvas, then problems occur. So we can use our fingers to increase, decrease, or balance the tattva. We shall see that just now. When all elements are in harmony, then you reach higher levels, and then one is ready for spiritual growth. Now, each of these elements is also related to different parts of the body, different organs of the body. And so when you know where you're having trouble, you will also be able to identify which tattva is imbalanced. But this time our focus of study is chakras. So I'd like to talk a little about chakras. Yeah, so the human body has many chakras, but there are 7 main chakras, out of which 6 are to be focused upon. Now, what are chakras? Chakras are called, they are wheels that spin energy. They are called chakra because they are in the shape of a wheel. These chakras are located at different parts of the human body on the spine, but physical body agar dissect kiya jaye, to you will not see these chakras. They do not have a physical form. ये सब सूक्ष्म रूप में है. They are in the etheric body, pranic level. You will not see them if the physical body is dissected, but scientists recognize them as glandular junctions. Now, each of these chakras have their own function, positive characteristics, negative characteristics. Chakras is a very big subject, so we need not know so much of details for knowing mudras. We just have to know the location, its positive and negative characteristics, and to a certain extent, if we want to meditate, maybe the color will help us. Now, the first chakra, the bottommost chakra here, these 3 chakras, the lower 3 chakras, are known as bhoga chakras. They are energy consumers. They are required for sustenance of the bhautika jivan, but they consume energy. The upper 4 are known as yoga chakras. They lead us to yoga, union, and they are energy receivers. These 3 chakras are denser, and each chakra has its own vibrational frequency. Vibrational frequency हर एक आदमी का different हो सकता है in different chakras, depending on the awareness and also what are the challenges or physical problems they are having. It's easy to remember the colors. You can easily see it's Vibgyor, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. The red one is the Mooladhara chakra. Today, our focus of study is Mooladhara chakra. And so, we'll explain about all the others later. Mooladhara chakra is, all the chakras have their own functions also. You will have to relate it कि location कहाँ है, तो उस area में क्या organs हैं. They are connected to that. Now, at birth, when a child is born, all the chakras are clear. As we start growing up and interaction with the world and culturing takes place, the chakras get blocked. They are spinning energy. Our body has 72,000 nadis through which energy is sent across the whole body. So from each chakra, there are lots of nadis emanating from each chakra. If the chakra is blocked, energy cannot be spun, energy cannot be sent to the respective organs, and that is where the problem comes. Pranic flow is affected. And this is what we do with the mudras. We try to energize the chakra and release the blocks. We cannot awaken it so fast, but at least we can energize and balance the energy over there. Because it is blocked, diseases occur because prana cannot flow to the organs. Now, Mooladhara chakra is what we are talking about today. Mooladhara chakra, number 1 is people experience, there are people, the main negative characteristic of this is living in scarcity. And living in scarcity doesn't mean कि कुछ नहीं है आपके पास. Living in scarcity means People have everything, but they still feel they have nothing. Like I can give examples of people, their cupboards will be full of clothes, but when they have to go out somewhere, they are stuck. I don't have clothes enough to wear. That is living in scarcity. Not having is not scarcity, but having everything and still feeling that you have nothing is scarcity. This will immediately tell you the chakra is blocked. Then there are, of course, other physical problems connected to Muladhara chakra. We have people who have problems in legs, sciatica, tailbone problems, rectum, constipation, and stress. Stress and anxiety because of living in scarcity. There are many, many other problems. A few I've cited. So when you have these, you know that the chakra is blocked. And we need to energize the chakra. Now, how do we energize or raise, lower, or balance the tattva? The earth element is present in the Muladhara chakra. So if Muladhara chakra is imbalanced, we can raise, lower, or balance the tattva. To balance the tattva, we always just touch it with the fingertip. Like suppose your Vayu tattva is imbalanced, you just hold it like this. This is balancing. Hands are always with palms facing upwards unless specified, and this portion of your hand rests on the thighs. So this is how we balance the tattva. When we want to suppress a particular tattva, then we press the thumb, press it with the thumb. We keep the respective finger or the tattva at the base of the thumb and press it with the thumb. If Jala tattva is high and we need to suppress it, we keep this little finger at the base of the thumb and press it with the thumb. This is decreasing the tattva, lowering the tattva. This is balancing the tattva. And then when we need to raise it, bring your thumb at the base of the element you want to raise. If you want to raise Prithvi tattva, you bring your thumb just at the base of this and hold it. Hands always will be like this with palm facing upwards, resting on your thighs. And when it rests on your thighs, it doesn't go outside your body. If your knees are like this, it has to be just here. It cannot be here. I hope you understood what I'm trying to show you. It cannot extend outside your body because you lose that energy. Otherwise, when it touches your body, the energy travels back through a Gupta Nadi, through the Muladhara, and back to the brain again. So hand should be resting within the knees and not extending out. So today we'll look at a few mudras connected to Muladhara chakra. There are 4 mudras we'll look at today. We have Prithvi Mudra, Jnana Mudra, Apana Mudra, and Prana Mudra. Start with Prithvi Mudra. Now, Prithvi Mudra, we have said the Prithvi Tattva is represented by the ring finger. So, Prithvi Mudra is like this. Just touching the tip of your thumb to the tip of the ring finger, and other fingers will not be like this. You should always keep it close together. Palms facing upwards, your hands resting on your knees or thighs. This mudra helps in vitamin deficiency. Remember, it is Prithvi Tattva we are talking of. Prithvi is where we get all our nourishment from. So this particular element is responsible for nourishment and bone structure and the shape and size. So this mudra helps in vitamin deficiency, and it is also very good for 10 minutes if one does before food. It helps in better nutrition absorption. Prithvi mudra cools the body, reduces the fire element. So it is very good for acidity and ulcer issues. Undernourishment, people who are undernourished, of course, then we have to raise the tattva for people who are undernourished. Then we keep our hand like this. It is very good for chronic fatigue, fever, nasal disorders. Because Prithvi is connected to the Gandha Tanmatra. So it is very good for nasal disorders also. After a illness, when one feels very weak and lethargy, this mudra is very beneficial. And it for low bone density, because Prithvi Tattva is responsible for the bone structure, it is very good for people who have low bone density, or after a fracture when the bones have to, come join together. It is very good. It is good for brittle nails. It heals brittle nails. It is good for hair. Emotionally, one develops endurance, acceptance, and contentment. It is very good. Prithvi Mudra is also good for skin rashes. Overall, for skin issues, also for dry or burning skin. Because here, what we are doing is we are balancing the Prithvi Tattva. So anything which has been lacking is, you can overcome. If one does it for 10 minutes, especially people who are weak and who are not, the system does not absorb nutrition properly, if they do this mudra for 10 minutes before food, it will help them in better food absorption. And it balances the fire element in the body. Then we have Apana Mudra. Apana Mudra is an excellent mudra to eliminate. It is the middle finger and the ring finger touching the thumb pad, other two fingers straight, palms facing upwards, resting on your knees. This mudra is very good to eliminate waste of any types, whether it's negative thoughts, whether it is from your system, toxins, anything. Even it is good for UTI. Sorry. It has a calming and relaxing effect, but that by far all mudras will give you a calming and relaxing effect. It helps in gastritis and constipation. Now, this apana prana is a downward flowing prana. So, what happens is that it is also good when people get hiccups and belching. In hiccups and belching, what happens is vayu is flowing upwards. So, if you hold this mudra, it will help to stop your belching and hiccups also. For diabetes, it is good for people who have recent episodes, not for chronic ones which people have been having for many years. May not help much in that, but it certainly will help for people who have just started or borderline cases and all. It's very good to manage diabetes. For those, it should be done for 50 minutes, followed by Prana Mudra, which we'll see just now, for 15 minutes. And this mudra is safe. It can be done for as long as you want. If it is only to maintain regular health, it's for 10 minutes. If you are doing it for diabetes, you should do it for 50 minutes, 50, which can be broken into 3 sittings of 15 minutes. And at the end, we do Prana Mudra always. Why? I'll explain to you a little later. This mudra also helps to expel negative thoughts. And at the mental level, it gives you the ability to develop a vision. Suppose you're planning something, you'll be able to develop a vision also. It is very good to get rid of any types of addiction. Like if you know somebody who goes in for binge drinking or too much of food consumption, without letting them know what it is for, ask them to hold this mudra. With this, what happens is we are using this Prithvi Tattva, which is a part of this mudra. So the taste bud changes and they will come out of that addiction. This is very good. Another very important benefit, which is proven several times. I've received feedback from many people. It's very good for people who experience breathlessness, for people who go for heights and hikers. Hold this mudra even at home if people who have, different levels of their in the house and they have to keep climbing stairs up and down. If you hold it for 5 minutes before you climb up or even while you're climbing up, you will not experience breathlessness. And this one of the participants told me so categorically that she used to experience it every day. The day I explained this, she went uphill walking and she found no breathlessness. She experienced no breathlessness. It is excellent. Another very important benefit of this Apana Mudra is for pregnant women who want normal delivery. Today I hear people who have decided that they don't want normal delivery. But people who want normal delivery should hold this mudra only in the last month. I repeat, only from the last month, not before that, because it's a downward flowing prana. We do not want any disturbance. Only when you start with the 8th month or 8.5 month. Only at that time, not before that. So that is Apana Mudra. Then we have Prana Mudra. Prana, a very, very important mudra. Little finger and ring finger touching the thumb, palm facing upwards, resting on your thighs. Now, Prana Mudra, the name itself tells us that how important it is. We may be taking medicines for any particular ailment, but you find you're still not recovering or you've still not got any benefit. Why? Prana flow itself in the body is affected. So how can you recover? The concerned organ is not receiving the right amount of prana. This mudra is beneficial for making the prana flow smooth in your body. You can do it for as long as you want, but what we recommend is that at the end of the day, if you have, suppose, a list of 4 or 5 therapy mudras, at the end of the day, you must do it for 10 minutes. This is like a support, for a vitamin, sort of a vitamin with all the mudras. So this mudra must be done every day for 10 minutes at least. If you can do it for longer, it's even better. Here we have Prithvi and Jala Tattva, both are combined. So it increases strength, immunity, vitality, and stamina. We have Prithvi Tattva and Jala Tattva. Both are combined here. We are balancing both the tattvas. So vitality, stamina, strength, everything is enhanced. It helps overcome weakness, increases circulation, as I already explained, and reduces bad odor. People who do a lot of fasts, it would help them if they hold prana mudra that day. You won't feel weak, or you will be able to control your hunger and thirst with this, because you're also balancing the water element here. Jala Tattva and Prithvi Tattva both are getting balanced here. It is good for lungs, thyroid disorders, eyes. Prana Mudra is excellent for eyes. Excellent. Any eye ailment, do it for a long time. It helps reduce muscle cramps also. And it also makes you one-pointed and enhances your power of intuition. There are no precautions in this mudra. You can do it safely for as long as you want. People who have kapha constitution, for them it's brought in balance because kapha is made of jala tattva and prithvi tattva. So kapha constitution people, those who have, for them kapha will be brought in balance. Kapha dosha can be rectified. Negativities like jealousy, irritability, nervousness, you can overcome with this mudra. So one mudra has multiple benefits. In any case, if you have no problems also, do this for 10 minutes every day. Then we have Jnana Mudra. Jnana Mudra is a very important mudra. We are balancing the Vayu Tattva, but it has got enormous benefits, spiritual benefits as well as for the physical body. Now, what happens is that when the index and thumb finger touch each other, the circuit is produced, which allows the energy, when you keep it on your thighs, it allows the energy to travel back through the body and up to the brain. As we said, there are different circuits for different mudras are created. And once you do this, at the mental level, if you hold it for 5 minutes and close your eyes and sit down, you will experience within 5 to 7 minutes, you will feel as if you're not breathing at all. The mind is so calm. We know our breath and mind are connected. So if you hold this, close your eyes and sit down, you'll practically feel you're not breathing. So much, so effective this mudra is and so fast it acts. Now, when you place it like this, there is the slight stimulation of nerves along the inside of the upper arms. So your lungs and chest cavity also open up. It is very good for insomnia, depression, sleep disorders, blood pressure. Why blood pressure? The thumb has points for pineal and pituitary glands, which are two most important glands of the brain. So when we hold this mudra, the pineal and pituitary glands are also activated, which is responsible for blood pressure. This is a very good mudra for meditative purpose to calm the mind. Now, at the spiritual level, there are many, I'm sure, who are interested in spiritual development. So what happens is the three fingers here, these three fingers, they represent the three gunas, Satoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. So when we hold this, we are trying to be away from the gunas because ultimately we have to become gunatita. To attain self-realization, we have to become gunatita. Go beyond the gunas. Even sattva guna, we have to cross. Then another symbolic meaning is that thumb is the universal consciousness and the index finger represents the individual consciousness. So when we touch, what we are doing is we are trying to have yoga, the individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. At the same time, we are keeping away the three gunas of Prakriti. And that is precisely what we want to achieve. The three fingers also represent the three kalas, past, present, and future. And they also represent the three states of consciousness, Jagrata, Swapna, and Nidravastha. So we have to travel beyond all this, beyond Trikala, beyond Trigunas, beyond the three avasthas, and then we have yoga. So that is the spiritual angle. Now, in doing this, the physical benefits that you derive is phenomenal. It is like at the physical, mental, emotional level, calming of the mind. As I said, people who have a lot of anxiety, people who have Alzheimer's, if they do Jnana Mudra and Prana Mudra every day, they can. I do not know. It depends on what state they are in, but it will definitely help to not further deteriorate and perhaps even improve. So, if seniors start doing it even when the problem has not started, we can also ensure that it doesn't come up. So, if you know of people who have Alzheimer's or depression or any mental disorders, Jnana Mudra and Prana Mudra combination is excellent. Yamini, so we can take up some questions now, or
Yes. Can you hear
I
me?
can't hear you at all. I'll have to use my phone to hear you.
Can I type?
No, I'll use it on my phone. I'll hear you on the phone.
So that was it for today's session.
It
We
is
will
like at the
now.
physical, mental, emotional.
Just a quick summary.
Yeah, so we have these questions. Sequence of mudras will depend upon what is the final, one cannot do more than 4 to 5 mudras. So sequence will depend upon each individual case. What ailments you have and what mudras you need to hold, then we can suggest. How much time to hold each mudra? For people who have no ailments as such and only doing it for well-being, then it has to be 10 minutes of specified 5 mudras, which I'll tell you on the last day. And if it is for a therapy, it would again depend on individual case. But generally today, what mudras we have seen, these are all safe mudras and can be done for 10 minutes. And if there is a particular issue, you can even do it for longer. There is no problem. It has to be held by both hands. Always. There are people who are, doing cooking and doing with one hand also. Chalta hai. Sometimes we tell students also that while you're writing, you can use it. But ideal is both the hands. It's not necessary to be on empty stomach. You can do it anytime. There are certain mudras which we advise, like particularly for constipation, to be done empty stomach. But now there is like all constraints have been removed. Earlier it used to be sit down quietly. Now there are no such constraints. No problem where you want to sit, except if you're sitting on a chair, you must have some cushioning under your feet, either a asan or wear your shoes, socks, or whatever. You should not directly be touching the floor. People are also doing mudras while walking, while lying down. So, of course, the question is how to keep your hands on your thighs if you're walking or lying down. If you're walking, naturally it's on your side. Even when you're lying down, it's on your side. It's fine. But if you're sitting and if you're doing it in a meditative state, its ideal benefits are multiplied much faster. How to decide which to increase, decrease? Yeah. So that would again depend, suppose you know that you have a problem of, let's say, excessive vayu, too much of wind you have. So you will have to decrease it. Undernourished, you want more energy. So you'll have to increase Prithvi Tattva. If you have diarrhea, and once the diarrhea stops, there is dehydration. So you have to increase Jala Tattva. If you have water accumulation in the body or you have a running nose, you have to decrease Jala Tattva. Watery eyes, you have to decrease Jala Tattva.
So that's it about today's session. The recordings will be available. Quick pointers before we proceed further. If you miss the recording and we also understand that there's too much information, but ये सारा information convey करना जरूरी है, तो सारी sessions की recordings available होगी, session के बाद आपको मिल जाएगी. आज जो slides display हुए हैं, we will also share those slides as PDF with you on chat. तो आपको आपके WhatsApp group पे ये PDF भी आ जाएगा, so don't worry about it. जो भी आप मेडिकल इश्यूज लिख रहे हैं, प्लीज अटेंड फॉर ऑल 5 days. हम लोग बहुत सारे मेडिकल इश्यूज ये 5 days में कवर करेंगे. अगर 5 days के बाद, इवन आफ्टर 5 days, योर मेडिकल इश्यूज आर नॉट डिस्कस, प्लीज फील फ्री टू सेंड अस अ व्हाट्सएप मैसेज. बट वी रिक्वेस्ट यू कि आप 5 दिन अटेंड करें, ताकि आप सारे मेडिकल इश्यूज के बारे में सीख ले, आप किसी को बता भी पाएंगे, राइट? सो फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड. I am typing with ma'am because unfortunately there's some audio issue.
Okay. Yeah. So, any other questions?
So questions related to medical issues we will take after 5 days on chat once you have covered it. That's it about today. We will join tomorrow with more information about other chakras, Swadhisthana and Manipur chakra. And tomorrow we will also do a meditation. So कल हम लोग एक meditation करेंगे. तो कल टाइम से जुड़िएगा, ताकि हम लोग फटाफट मुद्रास को सीख सके. We learn the mudras quickly and then continue with the meditation. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining today.
Other guidelines, we'll talk about it tomorrow, because that itself will take long. But today I wanted to show some mudras, so I did not take up the guidelines part of it.
Yes. Baki information we'll get tomorrow. Today, ma'am had to set base for all the, to explain what are mudras, why mudras, everything, which is why the introduction today was longer. But tomorrow onwards, we will practice more mudras and we'll do more meditation so that you can experience the benefit out of it. So definitely join tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be very, very exciting. Thank you so much for today. Thank you so much, ma'am. There's some audio issue and we'll try and fix it so that ma'am can hear us better and we don't have to communicate over chat. And that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Please join in. We will share the recording. We will share the PDF which was displayed on screen today. Don't worry about it. उसके बारे में आप चिंता मत कीजिए. जो भी medical issue related question है, please 5 days wait कीजिए. Please wait for 5 days for all medical related issues. We'll take them definitely during the course of 5 days. 5 दिन हम लोग कुछ medical issues discuss करेंगे. उसके बाद भी कुछ रह जाते हैं, तो you are always welcome to reach out to our support team. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye bye. Take care. Back in team. Let's end the meeting.